Welcome to the Pathways to Success. I'm Julian Placino, recruiting professional turned success speaker, show host, and media entrepreneur. This show is dedicated to helping you find your unique pathway to success by having conversations that educate, inspire, and transform. Together, we'll interview some of the world's greatest leaders and uncover their secrets to success. Thanks for tuning in, and on to the show. Welcome to episode 193 of the Pathways to Success, where we help you find your unique pathway to success by having conversations that educate, inspire, and transform with the world's greatest leaders. I'm Julian Placino, your host, and we have an outstanding show for you today. Today's episode is brought to you in part by Code Up, the premier career accelerator in Texas. Code Up's web development and data science programs will take you from beginner to job-ready professional in 22 weeks from the comfort of your own home. Code Up's data science program has an 88% employment rate, and their web development program has an astonishing 99% employment rate. Code Up is so confident in their programs that if you don't find a career in field within 6 months of graduating, you'll receive a 100% tuition refund. So if you are ready to start a career in web development or data science, I highly recommend you check out Code Up at codeup.com. That's CODEUP.com. So before we get kicked off, I get to give a huge shout out to everyone here tuned in to the live stream. As always, if you're watching this on Facebook and you want to engage with us, please head over to YouTube, type in my name, Julian Placino, and join us in the chat. So today's guest is Brandyn Alejos, the General Managing Partner at Precision Fitness. Brandyn, welcome to the Pathways to Success. How are you, man?
Thank you so much. I'm doing well today. Thank you very much.
It's good to have you, and
yeah,
thank you
it's very good to be here. So thank you.
Well, Brandyn, let's start from the baseline. What is Precision Fitness?
Absolutely. So Precision Fitness isn't just a gym. It's actually what we call a full health center. So our name is Precision Fitness and Health Center. So where you go to a regular corporate gym, you're just getting the gym amenities, where we actually are a health facility. So we have a chiropractor on staff, 2 massage therapists on staff, 2 nurse practitioners on staff. We do hormone replacement therapy. So basically what we do is we get your blood, we send it into the labs, you sit down with a medical professional, they go over if anything you need as far as thyroid, your vitamin B's down, your vitamin D's down, your testosterone's low. We do all of that. So it's kind of an end-all be-all shop. It's 11,000 square feet. It's based here in Dallas, Texas. So it's been around since August. We were very fortunate enough to grab the gym, but yeah, it's a full-on health center. So it's not just a gym. It's a one-all be-all health shop. We do IV hydration. We have a body fat scan in there. Just a little bit of everything.
And that is how Brandyn and I know each other, because this is Rosie and my home gym, and we've been a member there, I think now for going on in a year. And I really love the facility because, of course, it's an incredible facility, but it really feels like a community every time that we go there. So,
really is. You know, one thing, it was under previous ownership under a different name. We were fortunate enough to take over the building, and we wanted to make sure that people felt at home. I've been in the sports nutrition and gym industry since 2001, and our other partners as far as chiropractors and hormone replacement therapy centers, and we just want to make sure everyone feels welcome. One thing I can tell you, and if you go to our gym, I know every one of our gym members. We have over 700 gym members. I know everyone's name, and I pride myself on that because I want to make sure people enjoy going there and want to come in to work out.
So if you guys are in Dallas and looking for an awesome gym, check out Precision. Ask for Brandyn. We'd love to have you there. So,
thank you so much.
Brandyn, you are a very interesting character to me because up until recently, I really didn't know who you are. But you have achieved great success and excellence in fitness, bodybuilding, nutrition, business, stand-up comedy, and even music, which you have famously played at Carnegie Hall.
Absolutely, yes.
For those who haven't heard your story before, I'm curious, what do you think it is about Brandyn, about the way that you think or conduct yourself, that has allowed you to achieve such great success across these different disciplines?
I'm too dumb to quit, right? So consistency is key. So as long as you're consistent with something, you're going to eventually win. That's the most important thing that I tell people. If you're consistent with your nutrition diet and you constantly do the right thing, eventually you're going to lose weight or gain weight, whatever you prefer. As a musician, I used to practice 4 to 6 hours a day, consistently until I got better. With bodybuilding, I would work out, 2-3 hours a day, eat right, and consistently got better. So it's just consistency is key. Like I was telling you before we got on the show, everyone who's ever won anything is lost. The first time you tried to walk as a baby, you fell down. You couldn't walk. That's a loss. But eventually you're walking, and that's a win. First time you got thrown in a pool, you couldn't swim. That's a loss. And a lot of people don't see that. Things that when you first learn to speak your native tongue, you didn't know how to do it, and eventually you do. So it's just that consistency constantly that I think has allowed me to succeed in everything I've tried to do.
I'm curious, what motivated your interest? Because your interests seem to be varied.
Yeah,
right?
absolutely.
So how do you know what to pursue? What interests you?
So I have a passion. Music is still my number one passion. I listen
Really?
to music. I actually probably watch maybe 4 hours of TV a month, and I constantly listen to music, and it's very eccentric. I'll listen to classical music, country music, blues, jazz, rap, 80s rock, you name it, I listen to it. My playlist is quite interesting. I mean, sometimes I'll be listening to love R&B songs during my workouts. So music's my passion, but I also love helping people. So that's how I got started in personal training and nutrition. Is I was helping people in my early 20s, loved it, and then I sold my soul to the corporate devil to do some corporate jobs, and I was fortunate enough to be in the sports nutrition industry from 2007 through 2020, right when the pandemic hit, as a director of sales and/or partner with several different companies, and still helping people, making sure my customers were taken care of. Kind of lost my way a little bit during that time, and then I went back to the personal training and whatnot. And the reason why I did stand-up is I love making people smile. It's something that I remember. My parents didn't get along too well, but one thing they did like is stand-up comedy, and something that me and my dad still love. So I've always had a knack for talking in front of people. I don't have any issues. I'm never afraid of crowds. I've been told I'm funny, so I was like, let me try it. The first time I was on stage, I was not funny. I thought I had 5 minutes on stage. I had 3, and I didn't understand that silence helps. So I tried to fit 5 minutes of material in 3 minutes, and I just sounded like I didn't know what I was doing because I didn't know what I was doing. But eventually, in a few months, I got my first paying gig, and I was able to. 2019 was a great year for me. I was able to perform in 19 different states, did over 150 shows, and that was fun. And then the pandemic hit, and I did 2, 3, 4, maybe 4 shows in 2020.
So Brandyn, I'm curious, the things that you have pursued, stand-up comedy, sales, and all the other things, you were inevitably faced with rejection, failure,
Absolutely.
adversity, all that kind of stuff. So I'm curious, how does your mind perceive this, and how do you deal with that?
Like I said, for me, I'm not scared of failure because I failed so many times before. Have you ever said, or people say that you don't grow until you're uncomfortable, until you're out of your comfort zone. Right. And I'm a real big believer in that. I used to preach that, and I kind of lost my way, and I've come back to that. Like, people are going to tell you no, and that's okay. You're not everyone's cup of tea. If everybody likes you, you're probably doing something wrong, right? If everyone agrees with you, you're probably doing something wrong. It probably means you're biting your tongue and you're not giving your true opinion on matters. So failure to me is just, I know that when people say failure is not an option, it's absolutely an option because everybody fails in life. Yeah. And I think that's the problem is people, when they say failure is not an option, people think when they fail, they feel ashamed. Don't feel ashamed. People are going to reject you for whatever reason. A lot of it's jealousy, so just, you don't have, when you fall down, you don't have an option to fall down. Usually you just fall down, but you have an option to get back up. And I think that's what it is. I just constantly get back up, and I'll fail 100 times and get up 101 times.
Brandyn, before we take our first commercial break, what's the one lesson that our viewers should take from your life that they can apply to our own selves and apply similar kinds of results? Like, what's the one thing you would want to tell the world about how to achieve success?
Just be true to yourself. Don't try to be fake. Like I said, for so long, it took me a while to just really embrace who I was, how I was. As long as you're your authentic self, whether it's you're an introvert, you're an extrovert, as long as you're authentic, I think that you'll succeed in life. That's the biggest thing. I think when people try to be fake, and especially with today's age with Facebook, Instagram, TikTok, people are trying to become famous on the filters and everything. You don't know who they really are. And one of the reasons why abundancy has come to me in the last 3 or 4 months is because I took a chance after a really good friend of mine told me that I needed to share my story. And when I shared my story, just abundance has come along since then. I just think being authentic to yourself will help you in the right ways and get you to the right places that you need to be.
And that is quite literally why you surfaced on my radar, because of that story, which we'll be discussing here shortly.
Excellent.
So, Brandon, we're going to take a quick commercial break to hear from our incredible sponsors.
You want to transition out of your career and do something tech related, CodeUp is the place for you. When I came to CodeUp, I was actually working at a chain hair salon. It was just starting not to be for me anymore. My goals were to never work a weekend ever again, to have full health care and benefits, and to just have more time with my son. And now I've met all of those goals. I don't have any regrets. I just regret not coming sooner when I saw those billboards and I was driving down the highway.
And we're back with Brandyn Alejos, General Managing Partner at Precision Fitness. Brandon, so before we get kicked off, we have a small gift here for you from our friends at Dead Soxy. We'd like to give you your own honorary pair of Dead Soxy. If you want to open that up and show us what you got, man.
Uh-oh. I love socks. This is, I don't know if you know that. Yes, absolutely.
I didn't know that.
Yes, I have what do I have on here? I have Golden Girl socks on right now. I do. I love socks. This is actually a perfect gift for me because I probably have 120 or so pairs.
Do
I
you?
really do, yeah. So I wear a different pair of socks every day.
Awesome.
So
well,
thank
you, Dead
Thank
Soxy.
you guys.
Thank you, Jason Simmons, for supporting the show.
Awesome.
So, Brandon, as much success as you have in your life, there's also another theme of self-sabotage.
Absolutely.
Tell us a little bit about how you want to approach the subject.
Yeah, definitely. So I've been able to succeed a lot in my life. Unfortunately, I am my mother's child and my father's child, and both of them have had tendencies of self-sabotage, and I think it just runs in the family. So I've been on the top of my game several times and just unfortunately self-sabotage myself, where I've had to start over, start anew. Then I excel in something, and then I self-sabotage again, start over, start anew, gain. And I think now I'm close to 40 years old, and I've done a lot of development as far as reading and sitting and therapy and all the such on growing as an individual and learning that it's okay to make mistakes. And I think the reason why I was self-sabotaging is I would make one little mistake and I would just harp on it to the point where I just downward spiraled. I'm a huge believer, if you see it, you believe it, you achieve it. A boxer, Deontay Wilder, says that all the time, and I'm a huge believer in that. So I think I was concentrating on negative energy instead of positive energy. And I know this time around, I'm on the path to success. and I'm going to no longer self-sabotage myself. So.
What is the trigger when you feel like it's about to happen? What do you tell yourself? What do you do?
I just let, you know, for instance, the other day, Tuesday, I had a friend of mine pass away, 21 years old. He, you know, his birthday was going to be in 2 weeks. He was going to be 22 years old. And that hit me really hard. And, you know, because such a young kid, I've never met anyone who didn't like him. And I noticed there, you know, I wanted to get down. And, you know, previously I may have had drinks, I may have done drugs. And this time around, I just thought about it. I allowed myself to feel the pain, allowed myself to mourn his death. And then, you know, a few hours later, I went back to getting what I had to get done. So I think it's just, before I just wanted to shadow the pain. I didn't want to feel it. Now I'm allowing myself to feel it. It's, you know, everyone gets sad sometimes. That's okay. If you don't get sad, something's probably wrong with you. So now I just make sure that, you know, I allow myself to feel, and then I get back to work.
So that seems to be the issue, not to run from the experience, but to absorb
it,
to go through
absolutely,
it.
Yes.
Like, it's that whole, the stages of grief kind of
Yeah,
thing.
absolutely,
right?
100%. So before, what I would do is I would numb myself. You know, it started out with 1 drink, then 2 drinks, then 3 drinks. I was doing 2.5 liters of rum every other day.
2.5 liters of rum?
Every other day, yeah. So I would go out and drink 2, and then when you drink a lot and you got to be coherent, you know, sometimes cocaine got in the mix, unfortunately. So, I mean, I was at it. I did GHB, which, if you guys don't know, that's the date rape drug. I date raped myself because it gives you a nice little high feeling. So I was pretty out there. So
you are now, I believe, 2 years sober. Is that correct?
Close to, yeah. I'm 638 days sober as of today.
So tell us, this is the story that drew us together, right? Hitting rock bottom to overcome addiction. How do you start with that?
For me, and how you read the post, my rock bottom should have been probably July 2018. I had lost a job. Great story. I'll keep it short, but I basically drank way too much in June. I went to a nightclub, bought a table, and offered cocaine to Dak Prescott and Zeke Elliott. Probably don't want to do that, people. It's your public service announcement. Got kicked out of the club, and it was during a work function. So lost my partnership in a company I was making well over 6 figures. And luckily, the company was kind enough to give me a severance package. And I sat there and I was like, well, what am I going to do with my life? And you think that would have been rock bottom. And then come September, I performed at the Palm Beach Improv, where I did some stand-up there, got super drunk, and decided I wouldn't drive, which was actually, at least I made one good decision that night. My phone had died, and so I couldn't call Uber, so I was waiting for a taxi. Gentleman asked me for money. I didn't have it. I got robbed at gunpoint, forced into a car. Had to jump out of the car while I was moving, shattered 17 of the 23 bones in my foot. Wasn't able to go to Vegas I was supposed to go to Vegas that Saturday, and couldn't make it. You think that would have been rock bottom. It still wasn't rock bottom, and I constantly had it. And then for me, on Christmas Eve 2018, it was the first Christmas that I didn't have a girlfriend, a wife, a fiance, or family. None of my family lives in Dallas. And I just got super depressed, and I drank way more than I usually do. Went to my favorite watering hole, which I won't mention, and I was so drunk that I walked out of there at 7:56 p.m. I remember going to sleep in my car, and I said, I'm going to sleep because I don't want to leave my car at that bar. I blackout drove, unfortunately. Don't remember driving. The only thing I do remember is a cop pulling me over. And it was bad because I was still in crutches, so I was driving left-footed, and my transmission was scraping the ground because I hit something so hard. I was a .243, which is triple the legal limit. First time and last time I went to jail that night. Well, the first time I went to jail. And that's when I knew I hit rock bottom. Still got me pretty clean for the next few months. And then I went back to drinking, but nothing like I used to. And then when I went to court in July 2019 for the first time, they had me on a breathalyzer. Because I blew so high and I traveled so much, they gave me a portable breathalyzer, and when it beeped, I had to blow into it. I had 2 hours to blow into it. If I failed it or didn't do it, I would spend 90 days in jail. It got everything done with November 2019. I spent 17 days in Collin County. It was a wonderful resort. And it wasn't that bad. You know what? It taught me that, you know, everyone has a story, and everyone can make mistakes. You know, some guys in there, most of the guys in there were in there for the same reason I was. But that got me on the straight and narrow was the day that the judge said, you know, if you drink one more time, you're going to jail for 90 days during this time. And I don't recommend what I did because I did it cold turkey and I did it telling no one. And I know most people need help, unfortunately, and that's something I've changed now, is I always put every single problem of mine and my loved ones on me. I made sure I'd get 2 or 3 jobs if I needed to. I would loan money from banks to take care of people. And now I kind of set boundaries. And that's been a tremendous help for me, and my stress levels are down tremendously now from that.
I want to give some love here to the live stream, everyone tuning in. So thank you, James Lafferty, Sherry Krause, Jen, thank you all for tuning in and supporting the conversation today. So Brandyn, I'm curious about that whole experience then. If there was one particular reason that really made you sort of decide this, or was it a combination of to really change your lifestyle about that? Like, how do you articulate that?
I just realized I didn't want to be a screw up anymore. I realized that I was put on this earth for more. When I was 2.5 years old, I got into a really bad car accident. They read my last rites to me. There was a time of death presented. And in 5 minutes, I came back to life. And that's something
How old? We didn't talk about this.
Yeah, 2.5, yes.
Man.
My mother, it was raining, and 18-wheeler stopped. She ran in the back of an 18-wheeler. So it was one of the reasons why I graduated a few months away from 20 years old. I had to learn my motor skills over again when I was younger. So I was always the oldest kid in high school, I guess, and in school in general. And middle school, I was almost 16. High school, I graduated, like I said, I was 3 months away from 20. So because of that, you know, probably lost my way, stopped going to church, and, you know, started going back to church and realized that I'm made for more. I think that's what it was.
So when we had our pre-conversation, you know, we had a long talk, right?
Yeah,
but
absolutely.
ultimately what sort of focused the conversation, to me, you said, I found my why.
Absolutely.
And that why was sort of like this ultimate fuel for success. What is your why, and how did you come to realize it?
So I realized that, and when, like I said, I took the brunt of all of my loved ones. When they needed money, I would just give it out abundantly. At the time, I was making money. I was able to do that. If they needed anything, if they needed a ride, I'd do anything for my loved ones and friends, which is not necessarily a bad thing. I'm telling you not that you should not do that, but there needs to be boundaries. And what I realized is, man, you know what? I just love helping people. I love making people smile. And I'm here to serve people. And there's all different ways to serve people. And for me, like I said, stand-up comedy is a great way to serve people, because what's happier than laughing, right? And smiling. When someone's smiling, it means you've done something good. And now that I'm back into the sports nutrition or fitness industry, doing personal training, like I've helped out people lose weight. I've helped people gain weight. Like I said, I have clients from who are 65 years old. I have a wonderful client who's on my 600-pound life. I have competitive bodybuilders, and just seeing and servicing them and giving them the best training plans and best diet for them. And that's when I realized, like, I'm here to serve people. And that's just what I do. That's what I do great, is I serve people, and I give people a great feeling. I love empowering people. And so I found my why is to serve people, and my expertise is in, like I said, fitness and nutrition. So I'm serving people in that sense.
So what kind of recommendations would you have for any of our viewers who are trying to figure out what that is? That's one of the most common questions I get, is how do I figure out what I want to do and all that? What advice do you have for them?
One, don't be afraid to restart. You know, even if you're a doctor and you don't like being a doctor, you can change your career if you want. You know, if that's not something you're super passionate in, change it. You know, you may not be making as much money. Right now, I'm not making nearly as much money as I was a few years ago, but I'm happier than I've ever been. I work about 20 more hours a week. I don't get to travel the United States anymore. It's not as glamorous as my job used to be, but I've never been happier. So money isn't everything. You can't be buried with it. You know, money does allow you options, and that's great, but, you know, like I said, you got to really follow what makes you happy. So just maybe sit down in a room by yourself and think about things that make you happy. And if you have to relearn a skill, that's okay. You know, some people, you know, I had one client who never worked out before, was over 200 pounds, has lost a bunch of weight, and is now wants to be, or has already got her training certificate. So that's amazing, because now she realized
Awesome.
that's what she likes to do. So just sit down and really have a one-on-one with yourself and figure out why you do what you do and what really your passion is. And I think you'll get there.
You have an interesting perspective on this, because you would have trained, what would you say, hundreds of thousands of clients now? Like how many?
Yeah,
like,
over 200 people throughout the
200
United
people.
States. Yeah, between online classes and then like I've seen in person.
So I'm curious, for the ones who have experienced radical long-term change,
Yeah.
what are some of the consistencies or commonalities in their stories?
I think for me, I would say probably making sure you're always, you know, thinking about why you're doing it. You know, I'm doing this because X. I'm doing this because of Y. Being grateful for what you have. I think, you know, a lot of people look, and like I said, I go back to where social media has brought us, is people look, oh man, I want what they want. I want what that person wants. I want what that person wants. But that probably won't make you happy. So, you know, you should concentrate on what you want and what makes you happy. And I think it's concentrating on yourself, and not worrying about what other people think and or do that makes you continue to run that path.
So one of the things I know you're passionate about speaking on is really being careful about who you surround yourself with, right?
Yes.
And you said, don't be afraid to cut people off.
Absolutely.
What does that mean?
So set boundaries. So, you know, I don't know who said it, but several famous people have said, you know, if you want to be a millionaire, surround yourself with 5 millionaires, you'll be the 6th millionaire. If you want financial freedom, or if you want to be, you know, a bodybuilder, you know, surround yourself with 5 bodybuilders, you'll be the 6th bodybuilder. And I'm a big believer in that. So I made sure, and that's one thing I love about Precision Fitness. The guys there are super amazing, and they make me be a better person. You know, every day I strive to learn from them, because their skill set is completely different than mine, and vice versa. So what I did is, now that I'm no longer doing drugs or drinking, I still may talk to some of those people every once in a while, but I never hang out with them, because I know that they're not going to serve me in the place I need to be served, and it's just going to bring temptation to my life, and I don't need that. They're great people. You know, as Tupac once said, you know, just because we're no longer friends doesn't mean I don't want to see you eat. I want to see you succeed in life. I hope that they get their lives figured out. Me hanging out with that type of people is not going to serve me. So making sure you set boundaries in that sense has helped out tremendously for me.
So Brandyn, what is the vision for your future? What are you most excited about? What do you want to bring into the world?
Absolutely. So I just want to make sure whatever I do it from a place of love, right? So, you know, I currently am doing the personal training. I'm doing the nutritional plans, which I love helping people. Hoping I'll be able to get back out and do some stand-up comedy. I need to get to open mics. For people who don't know, comedians, we just don't go out there and make jokes up. You know, we test our material out at bars and things like that. So I need to get some new material out there. And just started helping with network marketing. So I started with a skin and healthcare line. They also do some wellness stuff like probiotics and stuff. And I started using their stuff back in November with the hair care, liked it, then got convinced to try their skin care in February, and became such a believer in it that I became a market partner with them about 6 or 7 days ago, maybe 10 days ago.
Cool.
So just helping people, and I think is the biggest thing. But from a place of love, you know, I'm not here to sell anyone anything. You know, if they get a nutrition plan with me, it's going to be their nutrition plan. If they get a training plan with me, it's going to be their training plan. If they decide to get hair or skincare products from me, we're going to be taking tests to make sure they're getting the right product for them.
So Brandyn, the show is called The Pathways to Success. How do you personally define what success is?
Waking up every day and being happy. I think so often people wake up and it's called the rat race, right? They work their 9 to 5 and they can't wait until Saturday and Sunday. They're like, I hate Monday, Tuesday. We call it hump day, then Thursday, then thank God it's Friday, then Saturday on the weekend. We're happy, Sunday, and then it's back. Don't live a life like that. If that's how you live your life and that's the job you have, then that's not the job for you. Even if you're making a ton of money, you only have one life. You know, just make sure you enjoy all of it. Like I said, I told you before, I make less money than I have in many years. I'm working more hours. I'm not traveling the United States like I used to, but I'm so happy right now. I love helping people, and you know that for me is the thing. Just make sure you're happy. So.
Brandyn, tell our viewers how to connect with you, how to follow you, how to check out Precision. Tell us all this.
Absolutely. So Precision Fitness, we have a website, precisionfitnesstx.com. We're also on Instagram. You could look for Precision Fitness. And as far as for me, I'm on Instagram and Facebook. It's quite easy on Instagram. It's Brandyn, spelled BRANDYN _Alejos, ALEJOS. And then on Facebook, you just spell that Brandyn Alejos. I have a personal page and a fan page. Fan page is for my comedy, so it's not that. But that's the best ways to connect with me.
Awesome. Yeah. And Brandyn, we'll make sure to have all your information in the show notes as well. So thank you so much
for
coming
for
on the
having
show,
me
man.
so
This has
much.
been awesome.
Thank you so much. So thank you again.
And everyone else, thank you all for tuning in to another episode of The Pathways to Success. If you haven't already, please do subscribe to the show, share this out with people in your network, and we'll see you next time on the next episode of The Pathways to Success.